Alright, so this is the installation video for putting your key onto your keyboard, and we're going to show you how to insert the regular size key, which are the letters and numbers, the large key, which we're going to use enter, and also the space bar. Now, for the J area, you can see there's a large hook at the top and two smaller ones on the bottom corners. So make sure to look at the different keys in case they change position. Sometimes the large single hook can be at the bottom or to the side, and if those change position, then the hinges are going to have to change position also. So we're going to click these two pieces together to make one, then click that onto the keyboard, and finally put the keycap on top. So we have to determine the position for the large piece first, and you can see at the top it has small pins on the corners, and at the bottom it has two larger pins. And I say top and bottom because the large hook is at the top, so we're going to align the small pins at the top. If the hook were down there, then we'll flip the hinge over like that. So now you know the position for that. Make sure not to put the entire piece upside down because it looks the same, but it won't work. You have to feel a bump underneath the vertical bar there. That bump faces the keyboard, and on top there's no bump, it's just a smooth piece. So put it down in the right position so we don't get confused later on. Get the next piece, which is this, and it has a bar at the top which is going to go underneath the large hook, and two pins in the middle which are going to click in into the holes that are in the middle of the large piece, and two pins at the bottom. Now make sure not to put this piece upside down as well by feeling the bottom bar. If it's one smooth piece that faces up or away from the keyboard, and if you feel or see a gap in the middle, that faces the keyboard. So now you know the position for both pieces. You put the small piece over the large piece, and we're going to simultaneously insert the pin onto the hole and put the bottom bar of the top bar of the small piece underneath the top bar of the large piece. So go ahead and do that. Once you have that in, you hold it down so it doesn't come apart again, and we still need to click this other pin onto that other hole. So we're going to separate both pieces in order for the pin to have enough space to go into that hole. Now both pieces are one. We're going to put the bottom bar of the small piece, the top bar of the small piece underneath the large hook, and then hold it down in place so it doesn't come out again. And we have to slide the hinges downward or stretch them enough for the hooks to wrap around the pins that are at the bottom there. So you have to stretch the hinges and at the same time kind of push down so that the pins can go around and under those metal hooks. Now you get your keycap, put it right in the center, and push down evenly on all four sides. So that's it for that. Now for the large key, the enter key, it's the same procedure to install the hinges, only on a larger scale. So we're going to assume you already have it in, and behind the enter key there's a wire. That wire clicks onto the keycap from the fittings that are at the very bottom of the keycap, because there's two that look like they're at the very bottom, but they're not. Those are for the hinges. So put the wire right in the middle, or right in between the fittings that are at the very bottom, and just push down in order for it to click on. Now get your key in the right position, which is this, and open up the wire, And remember, we're assuming you have the hinges in place already. So you have to put the wire into those fittings that are at the very left and right of the entire space. So go ahead and insert those wires. Once they're in, you just lay your keycap down flat and click it onto the hinges. And that's it for the large pieces, the large keys. Now there's the space bar, and it's the same procedure for the hinges. Just make sure where the large hook is to align the hinges with the large hook. Now the keycap itself has two metal wires. One goes in the middle. This is the right position for it. You can see at the top it's square, and at the bottom it has a bit of an angle to it. So we're going to flip it over this way. Try not flipping it this way because it'll create a lot of confusion. So flip it over this way, and that's where the wires go. The circular one goes in the middle. So there's two fittings here, one over here, two fittings here, one fitting here, and two fittings here. Now the large one is easy to place because you just look for the fittings that are at the very bottom. Then you open up the wire like that and turn your key over this way again. And this is the right position for the key. You're going to move it over this way in order for you to see where the fittings are for the wire. There's one at the very left and one at the very right. So put the wire in both holes or fittings, then just lay your key onto the hinges and make sure everything clicks right, and that's it.